Welcome to Manga Historian's Complete Story Series. Today we're going to be covering Berserk Chapter 144, 145, and 146. A little bit of a shorter episode, but we have to do it. I hope you guys enjoy. Now in our last video, Guts learned from the Skull Knight that there was going to be a ceremony at the Tower of Conviction in order to give one of God's hands a physical body. This ceremony would be on the scale of the events of the eclipse, killing and slaughtering everyone in sight. Now with more determination than ever, Guts hurries over to the tower, hoping, beyond belief, to bring Casca home. As word around the refugee camp about Casca being a witch is spread, the refugees start to bring Casca gifts. Luca tells the people that they need to stop. The more things that they bring, they will surely bring unwanted attention from the knights. They can't keep accepting this stuff. Pepe says they should just accept it. It'd be rude for them to tell them no. Luca leads the refugees out of the tent, telling them that she will accept these gifts today, but after this, they must stop. As the last refugee leaves, Luca tries to figure out what to do when Nina calls her over. While Casca sits and eats one of the pearl necklaces, Nina asks what are they supposed to do about Elaine? It's only a matter of time before the Inquisitors hear about this. Nina goes on and begins to panic, saying that they also need to find Joachim's body. They should be just rid of Elaine. She'll be fine of her own, right? She'll be treated nicely. They've already done all they can do for her. Luca folds her arms, stating that she refuses. There once was a time when she may have looked down on these people, but she will not be like that again. If they were to abandon Elaine now, she would be no better than when she was of the mindset of being better than others. But before she can go on, one of the other girls runs into the tent shouting that something terrible has happened. Everyone quickly runs outside and a group of knights begins to drag away Pepe. Pepe begs for them to stop. They're going to rape her and then kill her. The group leader whips her, telling her to shut up, and as he continues, he shouts, "Just look at everyone here. There's no one to defend you." As the whip cracks one last time, Luca runs in to protect her, stating that they must be tough to sit in their tower and hit defenseless people. She then begins shouting at the knights, telling them that they all sit all high and mighty, passing judgment on others. Do they think that they're gods or something? The leader laughs, asking if that's all she's got to say, and then he pulls back the whip to crack it once more. But as he pulls his arm forward, the whip gets caught on something and the leader is pulled off of his horse. The leader starts to get back up, looking back at what his whip caught onto, and he sees Guts standing there with the whip wrapped around his fake arm. The other knights begin to murmur that it's him, and the leader says that he had better not think that he can run away like last time. But before he can finish, Guts grabs the leader's face and he squeezes it as he pulls him up. He tells him, according to what those girls are saying, you're hunting witches, right? Well, among those women, have you seen a woman with a brand on her breast? Luca remembers the brand, and the knight muffles that he has no idea. Guts takes the man and he swings him by the face into a group of knights, causing everyone to charge after him. He dashes forward, pulling out his sword, cutting into that group of knights, and everyone just watches in awe. The leader tells the other knights not to be scared, capture that man. But as the leader gives the orders, his keys are quietly taken. Ishidoro appears before Luca and Pepe, telling them that he's brave, right? He thinks that he may have fallen in love with them. Luca asks who is this, and then Puck appears saying, this is my happy little group. And that guy in the rampage, that's Guts. Guts shouts that this holy ground is nothing but a joke. It's all garbage to him. And as he looks through the crowds, he tells himself, Casca's here somewhere. I'm gotta find her. More knights on horseback begin to charge in, and Guts effortlessly cuts down the knights and the horses, throwing their body parts into the onlooking crowds. The refugees begin to cheer on Guts, and the leader says that this man is a monster. But before he can escape, a rock is thrown and it hits him in the back of the head. He turns shouting, who threw that? And all he can see are the lifeless faces of the refugees who detest him. The leader jumps back at his horse and he tells everyone to stand back. He's going to report this to the main troop, and then he'll be back. Guts watches as the knights leave, and Luca runs up saying about what he said, the girl with the brand. Guts turns back, grabbing her, asking, do you know anything? And Luca tells him that she wanted to say thanks for saving them. Guts shouts, I don't need your thanks, tell me where this girl is. Then he feels his brand begin to bleed, and Luca looks at it, stating that it's the same one as their Elaine. Disregarding what she said, Guts tells her to tell him where Casca is. Luca starts to lead Guts away, but across the field, a pair of eyeballs is watching them. Meanwhile, back in Luca's tent, Casca sits chewing and spitting out pearls, and Nina asks if she's really a witch. Nina turns in her bed as Casca looks at her, and she thinks that if Elaine uses her sorcery again, they will have no excuse. They will be executed, so there's only one thing to do. Nina gets up from her bed coughing, stating that she needs to run away, but Casca starts to pat Nina on the head. Through her sobs and crying, Nina says, why? Fine, we can go together. A few moments later, outside of the tent, Luca says, this is it. And as the other girls poke their heads in, Guts pushes them aside and he walks through. What he finds is an empty tent, and Luca says, oh no, Nina. A little ways out of the camp, Nina leads Casca along the mountain's edge, and as she looks up, she sees the shaman from the caves of the other night. The shaman says that their maiden has come to them. Elsewhere around the camp, Ishidoro looks around for a sword to steal so that he can start stealing Guts' techniques when he notices a group of people off in the distance. As he looks closer, he sees a girl in bandages, and he says, "There's no doubt about it, that must be her." Ishidoro thinks that maybe he should go back and warn the others, but if he did, he would lose the group, so maybe he should just follow them for a bit. Elsewhere by the tower, Farnese watches as another heretic is burned when a report comes in from another soldier. He tells them that they have found where the rest of the heretics are hiding. There's also reports of a man dressed in black who was spotted there. Azan says that it is a gift from God. This time he can, but Farnese stops him, telling him that the black swordsman is not their responsibility anymore. Azan tells her that they should go check it out, and Farnese stops him again, saying that there will be no personal feelings on this mission. They will go to where the heretics are hiding. Back in the cave of heretics, Ishidoro watches as the shaman announces that tonight will be their holy night, as prophesied. Tonight, their goddess will be revealed to them. And a few moments later, a group of men carry out a chair, and sitting on it is Casca. Through the crowd, Nina is stripped and dragged forward, and the shaman tells her that for her sin of keeping the goddess to herself, they will cut out her heart and offer it to the witch. After that, the goddess will mate with their lordly goat and become a family. Everyone cheers, and Ishidoro and Puck panic as to what they're supposed to do. Ishidoro tells Puck that he will buy some time. He needs to hurry back and tell the others. One of the men below gets ready to cut into Nina's chest when suddenly Ishidoro throws a rock, hitting the man's eye. Everyone starts to look around, and then he steps out shouting, "Hey, naked cultists, you're all about to be reported." He turns back to Puck, telling him now, and Puck rockets out of the cave. The heretics all begin to climb the rocks towards Ishidoro, but he continues throwing the rocks, knocking them all back down. He tells himself that he just has to keep this up, and then Guts will have to accept him. And as a bonus, he can enjoy his first time with one of those girls. Back in the ground, though, Nina runs over to Casca, telling her that they need to hurry, and then she sees Casca holding her chest and the brand beginning to bleed. As the smoke fills the room, everyone looks back and they see the faces forming from the clouds of smoke. Outside of the cave, Joachim leads Farnese and her knights to the entrance, and he tells them that this is it. They were inside there. Farnese draws her sword, telling everyone that this is it. The regiment will be with her. The rest will stay outside and patrol. Company advance! As she leads the knights in, she starts to see the shadows of men, and then one runs towards her with a half-eaten face, shouting, "Help!" The man falls on his face, and before Farnese can ask what's going on, more of the men start walking towards them from the shadows. And that concludes Berserk chapter 144, 145, and 146. We're doing a little bit of a shorter episode this week due to some production issues. It's all going according to plan, and we will be keeping this up every Friday, so subscribe to the channel to get Guts bloodying up your Fridays. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter @MangaStorian to get up-to-date information, and I'll see you next week right here.